And now let's welcome your host of Aim to Purpose Spiritual Empowerment Hour, Louise Hicks. In this episode, how to get 24-hour legal advice to protect life events and businesses, with special guest Barbara Green Smith.
Hello, world. Hello, everybody. And thank you all for joining us today for another show of Aim to Purpose Spiritual Empowerment Hour. Again, I am Louise Hicks, your host of Aim to Purpose Spiritual Empowerment Hour. And I'd like to welcome everybody and thank you for coming in. We have a special guest today, Ms. Barbara Green Smith. And we're going to talk about how to get 24/7 legal advice protecting life events and businesses. So we're going to have an exciting show, and she's going to share some great information for us. And I'd like to do a disclaimer. We're not here to give any legal advice because we are not attorneys. Barbara is not an attorney, nor am I an attorney. However, we just want to share with you how you can get legal advice when you need it. So let me share a little bit about Barbara with you. And thank you, Barbara, for coming in to share this information with us. Barbara Smith is an entrepreneur, small business owner, PPLSI, independent associate, finance industry, 20 plus years, corporate America employee, Los Angeles and Orange County employee, volunteer at food banks and as a dental assistant at regional area medical RAM to serve the many. And Barbara has a saying that we are all in a new process of doing things differently. We all must have a plan, a changed mindset, a pivot to become more and do more. So with that said, let's welcome Barbara Green Smith to our show today. And she's going to enlighten us about how to get 24/7 legal advice, protecting life events and your businesses. So welcome, Barbara, and thank you for coming in today, taking of your time, and especially today, since today is your birthday. And I'd like to wish you a happy birthday and thank you for taking time out of your schedule on your birthday to come in and share with us on how to get legal advice. So welcome, 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 and happy birthday. I hope you enjoy your birthday today.
Thank you so very much, Ms. Hicks. Thank you all for coming in today to listen to what I am having to share with you and the things that Mrs. Hicks will be enlightening us with the questions. But I want to say thank you so very much. Today is my birthday, and thank you. I am a big 650 senior, so congratulations to me for that. But I just want to share with you, Ms. Hicks, thank you so much for having me on your show. It means a lot to me for you to have me on your show. So I just want to say thank you for that.
Well, you are most welcome, and I'm happy to have you here. And I just want to share that we did have a few technical issues earlier. However, we got them resolved, and now we're able to resume and let Barbara share. And I talked about Barbara, and congratulations on becoming a senior as well.
Thank you.
65, that's a blessing to get there. And just keep it moving. So
Yeah.
you talked about, we said in your bio that you've had a lot of experience at various things, and you said PPLSI. You are an independent associate. Now tell us about PPLSI. What is it and what is it all about?
PPLSI is an industry that Mr. Harlan C. Stonecipher started 50 years ago, back in 1972. Now, Mr. Stone Cipher, bless his heart, he is not living for the last 8 years now. How it started, Mr. Stone Cipher was a school teacher at night. He was an insurance worker during, I'm sorry, he was a school teacher during the day and an insurance worker at night. Mr. Stone Cipher had an accident, a serious accident 50 years ago. A lady in front of him did a U-turn and ran head into his car. Now, keep in mind, Mr. Stone Cipher had life insurance, medical insurance. That woman, as a DUI driver, sued him. So this is how PPLSI started. PPLSI stands for Prepaid Legal Services, Inc. Many of us may have heard of it because it is a 50-year-old company. We are in the 48 lower states. We are also in Canada. We handle over 4.4 millions, and we handle over 140,000 business owners. What we do is we help protect not only the life events of everyone or family members, we also protect businesses. So that is who we are. And I came into the business back in 1999, and I'm still in the business today.
And that's awesome. And the reason I wanted Barbara to come on, and I'm glad she accepted it, because we know oftentimes we, particularly us as Black people, we're the most people that need legal advice. And a lot of times we are the least likely to have legal advice at our disposal so that we can speak to someone, an attorney, when we have any type of life crisis or when we have a business crisis. And Barbara has been in this business since 1999. She is an entrepreneur because as part of the business, Barbara, is that you are a contractual person, meaning that you own your own business as a part of prepaid Legalshield Inc. Is that what it's called? So can you tell us about how you came into the business and why?
Yes, it is PPLSI, Prepaid Legal Services Inc. Our brand is Legalshield. How I came into the business, I was at a realtor seminar years ago, many years ago, at a realtor seminar with my husband. I didn't want to even go to that. But at the very end of because I'm not a real estate agent or brokers. So you yourself or many that are real estate agents, whenever you have a convention, everyone that sells real estate, they're there. But this is how I got into it. One of the gentlemen back in Northern Cal implemented this. Now there are titles. At that time, they were called titles. At the time, we were looking to get a will done, and I was working for a prestigious law firm, and I had asked one of the partners, Miss Such and Such, how much would it cost, to get a will done? My husband, we have a home, a rental home, a couple of cars. And she was telling me, she said, oh, Barbara, I can't give you a complete total. Then she began to tell me, oh, about $3,000. Oh, maybe about $5,000. Back in that time, that's a lot of money. Even today, $3,000 is a lot of money. So Legalshield, you pay a monthly fee, very low. And trust me, it is not into the thousands. It is not into the hundreds. So that is how I became a Legalshield member. And not only that, but an independent associate. So that's how that came about. It's very important that we, get our, whatever we have, cars, shoes, boats, whatever it is, it's very important. We are in the pandemic. This is why I talk about pivoting. We didn't know anything about the pandemic. We don't have any control over the air. That's, I believe, is of the Lord's doing. Now, I'm not saying God placed this upon us. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that God will allow us to make decisions for ourselves. So we are having so many loved ones to go on today. My brother passed. I just went to a repast yesterday. It seems like every week I am going to funerals, memorials. I just want to share with you, Legal Shield, we offer services. They are attorneys. We're in the 50 states or the lower 48 states. We are just not only in the United States, but in Canada. We also do Canada. But I just want you to share, it's very important to have a will, living will, trust, living trust. We do not know when our time is. We always supposed to protect. And this is why I say, God give us the common sense. God give us and supply everything. So I just want to say, please, please, please take care of your household. Take care of your household and get things done the appropriate way. We don't want our loved ones fighting over silverware and shoes or things of that nature when we're gone on.
That's important. And what Barbara's saying is so important. And it's interesting that you said that you became an independent consultant, meaning that you are an entrepreneur under the umbrella of Legal Shield. Is that correct? Or prepaid legal Inc. and
Right.
Legal Shield? Because when I
Yes.
came into it, and I want to share my little story with you, I came into Legal Shield when I only knew it as Legal Shield back in 1999. And I am still a member. And I'm happy to say that I am thankful to God that it was shared with me in 1999. I wasn't aware at that time that Barbara was a Legal Shield associate, having her own contractual business with Legal Shield, having members to come in under her as an entrepreneur. I came in under a friend of mine, Norma, who does come on here sometimes, Norma Jackson. I came in under her, and this was in 1999. And to this date, I am still a prepaid Legal Shield member. And I maintain that membership because it has helped me in many aspects of my life crisis, my business. I have my business under there. And whenever I have a question, I'm calling, because you can call 24/7, and I'm calling. And again, as a disclaimer, we're not here to give any legal advice. We're just sharing information on how you can ascertain legal advice for yourself 24/7. And Barbara is a person, and she will give her contact information, because we know in an hour show, we aren't able to go into all of the aspects and everything that you can expect to have when you become a member of Legal Shield. However, we can say that you will have access to legal advice through an attorney as long as you are a member. So Barbara, tell us, and Barbara just put her information in the chat, how she can be reached if you have further questions of her to ask her. And as she said, it's on a budget that most of us can afford, because like I said, I've had it since 1999 and I use mine all the time. And I can tell you that Legal Shield has been a lifesaver for me. I just had to file a small claims case, something I had never filed before. So I didn't really know how to do it. I called Legal Shield immediately. So when you have contracts with various companies and so forth, and you feel you have been wronged and you don't know what to do, have Legal Shield at your disposal, because that's what I just did. And they walked me through every step of how to file a small claims case against the person that had violated their contract or had breached their contract. So this is vital information, particularly us as Black people that are out here on our own, and we may not have these deep pockets to go and hire someone. So Barbara, tell us a little bit more about what we can expect from Legalshield if we become a member. What can we expect to happen once you become a member?
Okay. Once we become a member, now we are subscription based. Please keep in mind, just like you pay for AAA, a monthly fee for AAA, some people decide to pay yearly for AAA, but Legalshield is the same way. You subscribe to it, you can pay monthly, it's a low fee, or you can pay yearly, whichever one you decide. Once you become a member, you will get your law firm. We are representing everyone, and we have attorneys, law firms in the 48 states, the lower 48 states. So once you become a member, you will get it won't be anyone else's law firm, it will be your law firm. For example, the state of California, we handle Parker Stanberry downtown on Flower Street, downtown LA. Every state, we have a law firm to represent you. There's life events, anything that happens, wills, you get your wills, living wills, living trust done. Just say, for example, you're playing in the park and little Johnny or whomever bat this ball into someone's car window. Just an example. It's any life event. So that's family. Life events is family. What are you going to do if someone is screaming and yelling, you're going to pay for this and pay for that? Just remember, we don't know what the laws are. Everything that happens to us all day long. Ms. Hicks just shared with us one of her reasons for using the services. We must know our rights. We're not attorneys. We don't know what the laws say. Our law firm handles all areas of law, all areas. It doesn't matter, tenant law, taxation. It doesn't matter what type of attorney you need. Our law firms in the lower 48 states you will have access to for a small fee. And not only do we have the life events plan, we also have the business plan, small businesses, any type of business there is, any type. So I just want to share with you, when we come in business, we don't know what we're doing. Many of us don't. And I have to say this, please, please, please remember, stop asking mama name, sister name, brother name, because what they do with their business or their life, with their family, may be entirely different from you and yours. So we must get our advice from an attorney.
That is so important, what she just said. And I can attest to that because I have, like I said, had prepaid Legalshield since 1999. And I know I had contracts when I had my house built. I had an attorney at my disposal to look over it. And suppose I needed to go out and look for someone. I'm frantically out looking, trying to find the best attorney for the best advice, and I can't find anyone immediately. If I do, what if they tell me I'm going to charge you an arm and a leg? Are you ready to cut that arm and a leg off and say here, when you can pay a monthly fee on a budget that you can afford and have that 24/7, no matter what type of legal issue it is, as she just said, you have that type of attorney, that specialty, because they specialize. We know, depending on what your situation is, you might need an attorney, like she said, for rental, some rental issue. You might need it for a breach of contract issue. It could be something that happens with your kids and a neighbor or whatever. You just never know. Car accident, all kinds of things that happen. And as I mentioned earlier, The reason I started this show is because of us as Black people being so divided and having limited access to our resources so that we can reach out and get assistance that we need in all aspects of our life. And legally, we know that the most incarcerated people in America are Black people. And it's men, women, and children, mostly being our Black men. And many of them don't have the money or the capability. And if you have Legalshield, at least you have a start to get some legal advice. Now, Barbara, let me ask you this. If you are a member and you call Legalshield and say they aren't able to handle that person you're speaking with initially, or it could be an out-of-state issue, how is that handled?
We have what our service called referral attorneys. For example, let's take an accident. If you should be going, for example, Louise, if I'm driving to Texas and I have an accident in Texas, well, I'm here, my membership is in California. So the attorneys here in California know the California laws. They don't know the Texas laws. So what I would do is call my law firm, which is called the Provider Law Firm here in California. They will do a referral. They will give me a name and number of an attorney in Texas. And the Texas law firm will handle whatever the case is. I don't have to go back to Texas. They will take care of it. And this is our referral program. So it doesn't matter where you are when you need assistance. Our law firm, we're in all the states, but it is called a referral. And I think that that's very good that you can get a referral attorney, get assistance, get representation, and you're still paying just a small monthly fee. That's a no-brainer, I would say.
Yes, I agree, because the referral now, I have used the referral service myself because I lived in California for most of my life, actually, but I'm here in Texas now. So if you move to a different state, how does it work then as a member? Say you have the referral program and I was living in California and I moved, and say the member decides to move to another state. What do they do then once you move? Because your membership is in California, say, and then you've moved somewhere else. How do you reconcile that so that you can still get your needs met through an attorney? And again, I want to do this disclaimer: we are not attorneys, nor Barbara or I. What we're doing is providing you information. So if you need an attorney and you don't have the budget, if you are a member and paying this monthly fee that meets your budget, you can have 24/7 for not only your life events, but for your business as well, or your businesses.
Yes. What we do is once you move to another state, you call your provider law firm and let them know. Our corporate office is in Ada, Oklahoma. You would call them also. This is why I mentioned AAA. If you think about your AAA that you're using day to day or month to month, they are not. Their corporate office is in another state. We just have branches. So you would call the corporate office, let them know I'm in California. I am now moving to whatever state, Texas. They will put all the information in. You will have the corporate office number. They will process it, remove the old address and put in your new address. And this is what we do all the time when people are moving. And I just want to also just elaborate on other things like Mrs. Hicks is saying. There's contract document review, there's IRS audits, there are Now, let me just share with you as far as, divorces, name change, things of that nature. The law firm is not going to be able to do a divorce for a small monthly fee. So there are a few things with the exception. You may have to pay a little more out of pocket because you can't get a divorce done. I mean, let's face it, we all know going to court when you file the paperwork, that's a couple of $100s. So they're just a little stipulations, but you do want to get all of your legal advice. This is why many of us, like Mrs. Hicks said, us as Black people, the reason our sons and daughters, or of sons and daughters that are incarcerated in prison 20, 30 years for stealing a bicycle. That's absurd. Stealing a bicycle. The gentleman that recently got killed with the police officers or the sheriff with the knees on their back, on his neck. See, things of that nature, that's absurd. So we want to get legal help. Legal advice is very important. This is how many people say the white Americans, because they have money. No, it's not only just money, it's because they have legal access. That is what's wrong with our system. Mrs. Hicks tells us all the time, our system is broken. That it is. So get your legal assistance done.
Yes, very important. I say it all the time, particularly us, because we're the ones that's going to need legal advice the most. And when we need it, we don't have the resources. We don't have deep pockets, and it could be in employment or anything. And believe me, I have used it since 1999. I've used it to get information about employment. I've used it about housing. Like I said, reviewing contracts when I got ready to build a house here in Texas. I had another issue with my pool. I was able to use them to get some legal advice. So anything, as Barbara has mentioned, that any specialty that you need, any types of contract. Like I said, I just filed a small claims lawsuit. I had no idea what to do. And what if I hadn't had my Legalshield? They walked me through every step of it and told me what to do. And that way I was able to file my civil lawsuit in a small claims court. And they will share with you any information you need. So I can't say it enough why we as Black people, we suffer a lot because we don't know the laws. We're not attorneys. However, when we needed legal advice, if we have attorneys at our disposal 24/7, we can get our needs met, whether it's through a referral or whatever the case may be. We can get it done. Like in my case, the small claims, I didn't need a referral because the attorney that I spoke with initially was able to walk me through everything. So I didn't need a referral. Now I have gone through times and I've had referrals when I lived in California and I had something going on in Texas, or vice versa. Now that I'm in Texas, I have something going on in California. I've had to call Parker, as she mentioned, Parker Stanberry. That's the attorneys in California, and that's who I had. And now that I've moved to Texas, as she stated, I called the Legalshield corporate office and they provided me with the provider here, which is Ross and Matthews. That's who I have to deal with now while I'm living here in Texas. And believe me, they helped me tremendously to get through this small claims case because I had no clue. And I'm waiting now to get my needs met. And another issue, if you just have a dispute with someone, you can call them, right, Barbara, to
Yes.
ask for legal advice. Say if you have some issue, I'll give you an example of what it just had happened to me. with some water heaters that had gone out. So I just called them and asked them about it, how to deal with it, because I did have a contract on how to get it handled. So, and you can get legal advice. So with that said, Barbara has put her information in the chat, and what I want to do is make sure everybody got that information. It's in the chat. It's how she can be reached, which is 951-675-7669. And she put her email in there as well, B Smith, B as in boy, SMITH, Smith 71 at legalshieldassociate.com. So that's in the chat. So everybody can look in the chat and get that, but I did share it with you also. So I'm going to ask if anyone has any questions. Can you ask Barbara a question? You can raise your hand and let me know that you have a question for her. And again, the disclaimer is we're not attorneys. We cannot give you legal advice. We're giving you information on how you can have legal advice on a budget that you can afford for your personal use or for your business. I have both. I have it for my business and I have it for my personal use. So I'm excited about it. I'm so happy that whoever the gentleman she named up front came up with this, because they have offices, as she stated, all over the United States, including Canada. So we as Black people, we need to really hone in on these type of resources for us. And the reason I'm going to share this book, I love sharing books because I know reading really helps us. This is a book called Just Mercy by an attorney. His name is Brian Stevenson. And I bought this book because I really wanted to have an understanding on what Mr. Stevenson, or Attorney Stevenson, is doing. He was on 60 Minutes, and that's how I learned about him. This was some years ago, and he was on there because a lot of Black men were in prison, and some were in there because they were railroaded there by the mere fact they were, or they are Black. They didn't care whether they were innocent or not, because oftentimes with us as Black people, we're guilty before we are proven innocent. And that's what prompted me to start this show, as I mentioned, because I am a mad Black woman. And when I say I'm a mad Black woman, that's motivated and determined, because I'm motivated and determined to help our people, Black people, become more conscious of how we can navigate ourselves through this broken, racist American system. And if anybody wants to dispute that, that's okay, because as a Black woman and a mad Black woman, motivated and determined, believe me, I know, because I've dealt with a lot of it. And Brian Stevenson started an initiative to assist in getting and helping these Black men who are in prison, some are who are in there and shouldn't be there. And he has been successful in helping. I mean, this is what we should be all about. And Brian Stevenson is a Black man. He's a Black attorney. I've seen him. He was on 60 Minutes. And he has helped get some Black men out of prison through his initiative that were innocent. However, we know that we are the first ones to be locked up, like we are the first ones to be fired from a job. Other people can go on jobs, do whatever, and they're given second, third chances. Some of them never get fired. But as Black people, we're the first ones. And these, having someone to talk to that can give you some legal advice, is vital for us as Black people. And that's why I wanted Ms. Smith, Barbara, to come on so that she can share how you can get that support and have it 24/7 on a budget, because we know oftentimes we go out and we spend our money on other things that are not benefiting us as Black people. Our money circulate in our hands probably in about 18 hours or less. And we are the most consuming ethnic group in America. Let's put it that way, because we are living in America. We consume a lot. And a lot of the stuff that we consume does not benefit us. It benefits the people that we are consumers to. And so why not take some of our money now? Give Barbara a call and speak with her, address with her on how you can become a member so you can have legal advice and you don't get frantic when something happens and you don't have $2,000 or $3,000 like she mentioned. And you're going to end up in prison maybe because you don't have anybody to speak for you, or you can end up losing out on something like a small claims that you could have filed, like what I just did. Now it's still in litigation, so I don't know what's going to happen, but I know I had the legal advice through prepaid Legalshield, and they walked me through everything, and I didn't have to pay any extra money, and that was a blessing. And Barbara talked about wills. That's the other thing. We as Black people, we don't go and do our wills and do what we're supposed to do. Now I had that done, and I'm working on it again because I need to update and do some things, because when you have life-changing events, you may need to revise things and do things. And when I spoke with Legalshield, Barbara, you can elaborate on this and tell us a little bit about how wills are handled. Is it free once you become a member to get your will done and get those type of things in order? How does that work?
Yes, your wills, once you become a member, you get your wills done for free. Now, I must say, depending on as far as your living trust and trust, there may be an extra fee. It depends on what you have. You know, many of us we say we don't have nothing. If you have a car, you have shoes, you have clothes, silverware. Like I said before, you don't want your family fighting over who's going to get the silverware. So what we do is your will is done for free, no cost to you. You have an update once a year. You may want to have one son or one daughter doesn't act right. You're leaving it to the one that you think is going to take care of everything, but they show you something completely different. You call your law firm, you tell them, hey, how do I revise this? Now, we do have a mobile app I will share with you. Back in '99, everything was paper. Louise, you can contest yourself. We had to do everything. We didn't have a website. We have a mobile app now. This mobile app is for Legalshield, business owners, and customers, members. You get on it and you can do everything from your app. For example, like Louise was just sharing with us about her endeavors with what she's going through. She could have sent a picture of whatever she had and just press a button. Everything is done. You can even do it from the comfort of your home. So I just want to share with you, your wills are very important. They're free. The wills are free. With 1 year, you get updated for free. Now, don't think that you can't update it. You can always update it, but I'm just sharing with you out of pocket what you don't have to pay an arm and or leg. So that's very important, because every day now we're looking at all of the memorials we're going to. Get this done. It's very important that you get your love letter. I call them love letters. Get your love letter done and get it done now.
That's important. Believe me, because we know that when something happens, God forbid, we are here a long time. However, we know that things are imminent. Death is imminent. We know these things will happen at some point in our lives with some of our loved ones. And when that happens, we want to make sure that we have all of our situation information intact so that families can have a better outcome. And we know you're in crisis as it is, and we want to make sure that it's as pleasant as we possibly can make it for you, because we know that is a time when you really need that support. And I can share another situation. I don't know whether this still happens, so Barbara, you can elaborate on this too. I know when I had a couple of traffic accidents, not accident, I'm sorry, speeding tickets. Not that I was a speed demon, but I didn't realize I was speeding. This is when I was living in California. And an attorney, I spoke with Legalshield, and an attorney went to court with me. So I don't know whether that still happens, because this was a long time ago. But at that time, I wasn't really sure how to handle it. And the attorney did go to court with me. But however, he wasn't able to stay the whole time because he had another case. He shared with me exactly what I needed to say. And I did it. And everything went well, just as he had said. He said, just tell them, he said, because I have to leave. But he did come there with me. However, you know, when you go to court, things can take a while. Sometimes your case may not come up as quick as you'd like it to come up. So I don't know whether this still happens, but Barbara, can you elaborate on that for us?
Yes. As far as traffic, when you have to go to court, either the attorney can go with you or they can go for you. Now, they will share with you. Once you get into any kind of tickets or whatever, they will tell you exactly what to say, because many times we just start talking. For example, when you have an accident and a policeman asks you what happened, don't think that that police officer is for you. And I'm not saying the police officer is against you, but you have to remember, policemen, whatever they hear and whatever they see, that's what they report. That doesn't always have to be true. So you need someone with the legality knowledge, must be legal, to know and to tell you what to say and what not to say. We don't know. As Mrs. Hicks just said, we are not attorneys. So you do want an attorney to tell you what to say. Also, they can write letters on your behalf. As far as you can take the letter, take it to court, show it to the judge. The attorneys have your interests at best. So you must get with an attorney so you will know what to say and what not to say. See, like Ms. Hicks just said, the attorney told her what to say. We wouldn't know what to say. We'll just start blabbing all over the place, trying to, say what we know. But it's very important to get legal assistance and legal advice. But that is what happens today. We can get a letter written on any state. On the top of your letter head, there are many attorneys. When we write a letter ourselves, that means nothing. It goes into the T file. They don't care what you say, but when an attorney from a law firm write a letter, they are looking at that letter and it goes to their legal department. So that's the advantage of having legal assistance.
So true, because I'm glad you mentioned that, Barbara, about the letter writing, because with me, with this small claims case that I have going right now, that Legalshield walked me through everything, I didn't have to write anything to the company for the breach of contract. The attorney wrote the letter for me. because I didn't know what to say. I don't know statutes or anything. Like I said, we're not attorneys. Barbara's not an attorney. I'm not an attorney. We can't give legal advice, nor do we have the knowledge to understand how to construct a letter when it comes to things like this. So therefore, the attorney wrote the letter for me to the company before I filed the lawsuit to give them an opportunity to do and honor their contractual agreement with me. However, they didn't respond. And when the company didn't respond, I had my documentation already with my contract. They pulled out what was in the contract that needed to be sent to the company and everything, told me, walk me through everything, how to get it served and everything. So it's so important that we have that, because a lot of times we end up losing out. Particularly, I can't say it enough, as Black people, we lose for lack of knowledge, and we perish for lack of knowledge. And oftentimes we don't want to spend that little extra money a month to have access to legal advice when we need it. And we are the most likely to need it as Black people living in racist America. We need it. So anybody want to ask a question? And again, a disclaimer, we are not attorneys. We cannot give you legal advice. I can share with you examples of what I've gone through, how I have used prepaid Legalshield since I've had it in 1999. And it has been a lifesaver for me when I was building my house here in Texas. It has been a lifesaver for me with this small claims case that I'm going through right now with a contractual breach, because through small claims, you can go to court. You can do it yourself in court. However, you need legal advice so that you can get to court. And that's what happens. So let me see if anybody has a question. If you do, please unmute and go ahead and speak if you have a question to ask. Because as I mentioned, I am a mad Black woman that stands for motivated and determined. And I want to help my community, our Black community, to be able to navigate through this system that we live in that is by design to keep us divided as Black people. And it's time that we come together and share information so that we can help one another. And that's so important. So if no one has any questions, Barbara, is anything else you'd like to share before we get ready to close out? I know it's your birthday and I thank you for coming in. You might want to go and really celebrate your birthday, so I don't want to hold you. That milestone, 65, what a blessing. Yes. So anything else you want to share?
I would like to share to you, thank you very much for allowing me to be one of your speakers today. I also want to thank everyone for listening in. I also want to share with you, please, please, please get your love letter done. Go to my site if you choose to. Give me a call if you choose to. My website is very important. You will see everything and you can click and read and you can share. And I also want to share with you, there are videos there for you to see. They're like a minute or minute and a half. Make sure you fill out the little contact and I will get the information very quickly. Everything that we do is on our handheld, if I must say, and it's the convenience for all of us. And we can do this anywhere. So when you're having problems anywhere, it's no reason. Get educated. We are the ones as Black people, we're the ones that lose out on everything. And I also just want to share, don't think it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. Women, I say to women, Stay out of the Dollar Tree. Stay out of the 99-cent store 1 or 2 times. I say to men, be careful of this TV stuff that you're doing. But trust me, this is a lifesaver. And one other thing I'd like to say, if you see any truck drivers, anytime you pass a truck driver, say hello to the truck drivers. Tell them, oh, Miss Barbara Smith, say, thank you for driving. The truck drivers drive everything that we have. And I want to leave by saying, everything we have and everything you do, a truck driver has driven it to us. And if you really think about it, you look at your clothes, Miss Louise glasses, her pretty ear, everything we have, a truck driver has its name on it. And truck drivers, when they get tickets, their tickets are not a few $100s. They get one ticket, they're running into 1,000. They could lose their lives, lose their family, and lose everything they have. So just say thank you to truck drivers for me. Thank you for having me, and thank you all for listening.
You are welcome. And Nija is saying happy birthday to you. Sweet, sweet, my little grandbaby, as I call her.
Thank you, Ms. Nija.
Angie is giving you a heart, wishing you a happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Sweet,
And-
sweet, I got to meet you soon.
Is Sweet Sweet available so they can see you? Sweet Sweet, if you are, show your face. If not, we understand. That's Sweet Sweet is my grandbaby. Her name is Nija. She's 7. And sometime when she's on, she'll show her face, but I guess not today. Janisha, thank you for coming on.
That's my
And
baby.
that's your, I know. I was gonna say that.
Mhm.
Your mom is having her 65th today, so I know you guys are gonna do something special.
We
I mean,
celebrated yesterday in the Bay Area. She's in the Bay Area.
Oh, so you
That's
did.
my number 2. Yeah, that's my number 2 daughter. My number 1 daughter's in church, leaving, trying to get me. She's like, Mom, let's go to the Cheesecake Factory. I said, we went yesterday, so we're going somewhere else.
I know, huh? You don't want to go to the cheese factory 2 days in a row, huh?
Yes.
So you're gonna go somewhere else today. Well,
Mhm.
wherever you go, Barbara, I want to let you know we wish you a very, very happy birthday because it's a special one. And to get to be 65 is definitely a blessing, and still be in your right mind, walking around, doing what you're doing, sharing this type of legal information with others as an entrepreneur of your small business, taking care of business. We need more Black people out here doing what you and I and all the other Black people are doing, sharing information with one another, because we know that we do not read like we should. We perish, a lot of us, for lack of knowledge. And it's so important that we understand we need legal advice. And we're the most likely to need it. I can't stress that enough. As Black people, we're the most likely to need this legal advice because we are locked up more than any ethnicity in America. Black people, the prisons by design is full of us. It's another way of enslavement after Jim Crow, actually. The prison complex became another way of getting free labor from our people. There are other people in there, but not like Black people. The prison system is full of Black people. And a lot of it is, if they had an attorney, maybe they wouldn't be there, some of them. A good attorney that could have assisted them with whatever the legal, because we know other ethnicities, a lot of them, particularly in the white community, they do a lot of crime as well. However, a lot of time they just get a slap on the hand. And just to share quickly with you, and I know we're going to get off, I watched this documentary the other day about this young man that was killed by a white man at this gas station. You guys may have heard about it or saw it. And it happened, I can't remember, some years ago, but I remember hearing about it. And it was because they were playing some loud music and they were asked to turn the music down or whatever. And because one of the young boys, he said something, I guess, kind of a little loud mouth or whatever, and it made this white man mad and not motivated and determined. He was angry, hostile, angry, to the point he killed this young man, this young boy, because he was about 17, I think at the time, 16 or 17, and he killed him. And the sad part about it, he lied. And he went through court and got off the first time. It was a hung jury. So he got off the first time. They tried him the second time. He was engaged. And I just saw this documentary. I can't remember when it came out. And you guys may have heard about it. This white man was engaged to be married. And he told the courts that he had told his fiance something to the effect that he feared for his life because he knew that he could have been killed by this Black teenager. And they put the woman on the stand. Everything he said that he told her, she said, no, he did not tell me this. He lied. This was his fiance. This white man lied. He killed this innocent. All the young boy did was just mouth off, I guess, at him or whatever. But it was no reason for him to kill the young man. And then he lied about it because of white privilege again. And you guys know I'm this Black mad woman, motivated and determined. I don't mind speaking out and speaking up. This is why it's so vital that we do need legal advice as Black people. And this man lied. This white woman, like I tell everybody, there are decent white people in the world. I don't know how many, because we know there are a lot of racist white people too. Here in America, and America is a racist country. We have a lot of white supremacists, and white privilege is very prevalent every day. And because this white woman, who was his fiance, had a righteous heart, because nobody can regulate your heart. This woman had a righteous heart. She told the truth on the stand. And this time around, during his case, he was convicted for killing. He murdered this young boy and didn't have any reason to do it. The boy didn't even have a gun. He shot inside of the car and killed him. And he went to prison. And I remember the judge said something to the effect that you're going to be in prison now for a long time. He'll probably end up dying in prison, because that first time around, it was a hung jury because he was lying. And then the second time around, the fiance told the truth about when they put her on the stand and asked her what happened, because he lied and said he told her this and that. He didn't tell her anything. And that's how so many of us as Black people end up in prison, because if a white person say you did it, they will believe it quicker than they will you saying you didn't do it. That's why I talk about this gentleman here that wrote this book, Just Mercy, the attorney, Brian Stevenson. As a Black attorney, he knows all too well. I'm sure he's encountered racism too here. Being a Black man, he has to. Who hasn't? I have too. And this driving while Black, I've been stopped driving while Black and asked, oh, whose car is this? That's the first thing that came out of the cop's mouth when he stopped me. Whose car is this? Because as a Black person, I'm not supposed to drive a nice car. And when I bought my BMW back in 1990, brand new, I was stopped only because I'm a Black woman in the BMW. And I know that was the reason for it. This white young cop in Downey, California stopped me because I was driving while Black and driving a nice brand new, because I think the car may have been a couple of years old. I had bought it brand new off the floor. but we're not supposed to have these nice things. That's why it's so important that we do have legal advice. So when these things happen, we know the court system, I call it the injustice system, because it's very difficult for us to get justice. However, if you have an attorney, you do have a better opportunity to get some type of justice in this injustice system that the deck is stacked against us as Black people. So just be aware of that. And I want to thank you again, Barbara, for coming in, sharing that information with us. And for everybody that has tuned in, I thank you for tuning in, and I hope this information has been some help to you. And please share, go to my YouTube channel, Aim to Purpose Radio, because this will be uploaded. And I have lots of information, YouTube videos uploaded, because I've had attorneys on previous shows. So I have information. So go to Aim to Purpose Radio on YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel, share my channel with your friends and family, because there's information that they may be able to get. Last week I had an educator, Dr. Roma J. Benjamin, on. She shared a lot of education information because of what we encounter in this American school system that's by design to keep us dumbed down. Prior to that, I had Sheree Harding Griffin, who shared some information about life insurance and how to protect your family from that aspect. She was a licensed financial professional, Miss Sheree Harding Griffin. And then last week, as I mentioned, and today, Miss Barbara Green Smith, who came on and shared with us how we can get 24/7 legal advice on a budget. And she did put her information here in the chat. So by all means, it is, where's your information? I know it was here. Make sure you've copied it down, 951-675-7669, or you can go to her site, bsmith71 at legalshieldassociate.com. And that's B as in boy, S as in Sam, M as in Mary, I as in ice, T as in Tom, H as in Harry, bsmith71 at legal, legalshieldassociate.com. Is that your website, Barbara?
Yes, it is.
That's her website. And you can go there, and she will share the information. I mean, she will provide you with any further questions, because we can only do so much or say so much in this time frame. And Barbara said, thank you all for wishing her a happy birthday. And now she's going to go off and enjoy her birthday. Any final words you want to say in parting, Barbara?
Yes, I want to say, learn to read, educate yourself, get that love letter done. With God's grace and mercy, no one can stop us, and we will always be motivated and determined. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to stay mad. And today, again, our show was how to get 24/7 legal advice protecting life events and your business, because oftentimes if you got a business, you may have something to come up in the business that you need legal advice on. So be sure when you speak with Barbara that you ask her about business, if you have a business, a small business, and get information, because I have both. I've had it since 1999, as I mentioned, the small business as well as the my personal life events account. So in parting, I always like to tell everybody that your power lies within you. Let it loose. And make sure you go to my YouTube channel again, Aim to Purpose Radio. Hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and leave your comments and any questions you may have. And I'm also a motivational speaker. If you need someone to come and speak, I'm here, Louise Hicks, the Mad Black Woman, motivated and determined. Until next week, thank you all for joining. Have a great Sunday afternoon.